Come on, Lucky 7. Lucky 7. Ugh.
Looks like it's down the chutes for you.
Oh.
What are you guys doing? Eh?
Oh, well, Commando found a game up in the attic. I think it's called Chutes and Ladders.
Yeah, we were playing out to see if it was any fun.
Turns out it's a lot of fun.
Really? You're playing that old game? Man, get with the times. Times are changing. Everybody's going digital nowadays. So here, how would you play some 64 with me? Maybe after this roll.
Yeah, this is getting good.
And shoot yourself. But personally, I think it's pretty brave that you guys are playing a board game. Not after what happened last time.
What happened last time?
This is the story of Jumanji.
Wait, did you just open a skit? Did you plan out this whole thing so we could have an opening for this review?
That is beside the point. This is Jumanji. The movie begins with two people rushing through the forest in the dead of night in order to bury what appears to be a cursed treasure. Who are these people? What are they doing? Why are they so afraid of this?
Questions for later.
We later cut to a wholesome little boy just riding his bike through town, only for Stockholm bullies to come out of the woodwork and literally jump him. I've always been curious about this when it comes to movie villains. Do they just sort of just wait right behind every corner just for the slim chance that their prey just happens to be moseying along? Like, what do they even do? Well, he then rides to his dad's place of work, where he tells him about the incident, but his father doesn't really offer too big of an insight, and just saying, just stand up to him. Yeah, this is a 3-on-1 fight. He's going to need some support. It sort of brings me back to the good old days. Remember when me, Commando, and Devil just wouldn't stop picking on you?
Yeah, I remember that.
Where are you going, buddy? Oh, what you gonna do with that almanac? Wow, you can definitely lift it really far behind your head and... Ow!
You son of a bitch!
Well, unbeknownst to Alan, he accidentally puts a shoe onto a conveyor belt, which ultimately ruins the conveyor belt as well as the shoe. But unfortunately, generic black guy number 5 named Carl decides to take the rap for him, which ultimately gets him fired from the shoe working place. We later cut to Alan coming out to get his bike and... just waited inside the bushes for him. What is this? Do these kids not have lives? I know this is supposed to be like, oh no, this is happening bit, but... they literally just come out of the bushes. It's like they're about to break out into song. Like, where's the musical numbers? So after the bully equivalent of the cast of Grease finishes beating up Alan and stealing his bike, Alan finds his way to a construction site where he stumbles across the drums. And even more importantly, the chest. And which inside contains Jumanji. Just so you people know, if you happen to find a game that's buried beneath the ground in a chest and its ominous drums are being beaten, Do yourself a favor and run the other way. I mean, this Alan kid's kind of dumb. Well, while he's eating by himself at dinner, his mother and father are busy practicing for a big opening speech on shoes that his father's about to give. But just before that, he says that because he stood there and took a beating like a man by 5 different kids who ganged up on him, anyway, he's eligible to attend the same school that he himself attended, which Alan is quick to say, fuck that. Yeah, 'cause that makes sense. Hey, you took a beating, son. Therefore, you're tough enough to go to this military school that I went to as a kid. God. Every time I got beat up, my dad would just sit there and laugh.
Wasn't your dad part of the people beating you up?
Shut up! Well, as Alan is preparing to run away from home, he gets a visit from generic brand girl who hears the drums from the game as well. So the two of them decide, you know what? Let's play this musical game that's beating drums. And they, unfortunately, well, it's not the best of times.
In the jungle, you must wait until the dice read 5 or 8.
For in the jungle you must wait until the dice read 5 or 8. But hey, look at the bright side. At least you're in a place where your dad will never find you. So, running away successful. Well, as Alan lives through the whole plot of Jumanji 2, their house gets bought out by an aunt with 2 kids, Peter and Judy, who become our next victims of the game. You know, the tribal drum beat should be a clear sign of, stay away from this game! Well, as Junie and Peter are exploring the house, Peter just happens to stumble across the game, where Judy decides, hey, let's play a couple rounds. And then, all hell breaks loose. Holy shit, do you see the size of the things? Quick, get the giant can of bug spray! So as if the giant mosquitoes weren't a clear sign of stop playing this game, Peter decides to take another roll and rolls a barrel of monkeys. The monkeys don't cause too much of a fuss and they disappear rather quickly, but Judy discovers that if they manage to beat the game, all the horrors that are released from the game get set back to square one. In other words, to break the curse, you gotta beat the game. Seems easy enough. Well, after rolling a 5, unfortunately, he summons forth a lion. Which, coincidentally, is pretty badass, but still very terrifying. Now wait a minute, hold on. There was something significant about either rolling a 5 or an 8. What was it? Wait a minute. You in the jungle, you must wait until the dice reads 5 or 8. Does that mean it's time? Yes! The best part of the movie! Let's just take a moment to appreciate this scene. Robin Williams fighting a lion. I got enough comment here. Let's just appreciate it. Oh, dear Robin, when you were good, you were really good, and touched all of our hearts, as well as other places. Well, overjoyed to be out of Jumanji, Alan is running through the halls trying to find his parents, only to discover that they've been dead for quite some time, and much has changed in his small town. More specifically, the shoe shop that his father owned has shut down. Yep, turns out his father spent every penny looking for his lost child, but to no avail. Look at the bright side, Alan. You are hide-and-seek's #1 champion. I mean, good God, being gone for decades? No one found you. In fact, I think I got a crown somewhere. I'm gonna give you a crown. Well, the kids of course try to coax Alan into replaying the game in order to get rid of all the madness. Alan is pretty reluctant. But no time to talk about that now, as giant mosquitoes are making a comeback. Alan tries to drive, unsuccessfully, and kind of badly. I know it's been a couple decades, but he should at least remember some basics of driving. He shouldn't be this bad at it. Well, at least it led to a very scary scene. Well, after that scene, they head back to the house where they're still trying to convince him to play the game. Which, of course, he is still saying, no. Hell no. Fuck no. No way in hell, and there's no way you can coax him. Until they go with the whole, oh, you're just afraid argument. Yeah, like that's actually going to work. Holy shit, it actually worked. Okay, dude, you've lived in the jungle for a long time. Does basic 6th grader psychology still work on you? Like, that is literal basic 6th grader psychology. Oh, you're too afraid to do this. That's why you don't want to do it. Who really falls for that? I bet you're too afraid to see if you can actually land on your feet. Oh, you're on. You're on. Ah! I'm okay! Well, since they got him to play the game, they try rolling the dice, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be working. That's only because it's bound by the rules of the game. And the rules of the game state that it's a turn-based game, and it wasn't any of their turns.
Whose turn is it?
Sarah Whittle.
Hold up! That girl from the beginning had a name? Well, very easily, they managed to locate Sarah Whittle. And after a brief, but still kind of funny moment, they managed to get her to their house, but are having a much more difficult time convincing her to play the game. Which, of course, results in who had the worst childhood argument. Let's see. One of them was called really mean names and was probably bullied a lot because of what she saw. The other one could have possibly been eaten by lions, or stabbed by those mosquitoes, or killed by monkeys, or any number of the things that could have popped out of the game. Let's see. Name calling, ravaged by monkeys, bullying, eaten by a lion. I just can't figure out which one could have been worse. Well, after tricking Sarah into rolling the dice, they then get attacked by killer plants, where I'm assuming this was the inspiration for the evil plant from Little Shop of Horrors.
Feed me!
Does it have to be human?
Feed me!
Does it have to be mine?
Feed me!
Of course! That evil space green motherfucker from outer space came from Jumanji! It was so obvious! How did no one piece that together? Well, after they manage to escape the man-eating plants, they then go back to debating over which one had the worst childhood. Which... come on, people.
In the jungle, you must wait till the dice read 5 or 8.
I know I joked about this before, but seriously, Alan's life was destroyed by this game, and I didn't even think you had a name until Alan said it. Well, they rolled the dice again only for a hunter to appear, chasing down Alan, and trying to kill him. But he manages to give him the slip after getting distracted by a cop, so they decide to roll the dice again, only to be rewarded with a stampede. Oh dear lord, how could this situation possibly get any worse? Oh no, the evil pigeon from the Pixar movie just stole Jumanji! Now it's definitely worse. Seriously, it should be no contest over whose childhood was worse. Well, after they manage to get the game back, they manage to run into a cop where Alan promptly gets himself arrested. Alan proceeds with caution, but unfortunately, Peter decides to roll and cheat in order to get to Jumanji and finish the game faster, which the game actually punishes him. Growing a tail and your body getting covered in fur. Yeah. Real terrible punishment. Well, Alan now has time to talk to our generic cop, who we discover is actually the same guy from earlier in the movie who had a great idea for shoes. And when it's revealed that he arrested Alan, he of course immediately slams on the brakes in surprise. But no one is more surprised than our core trio when the huntsman takes the game only for Judy to take it back, and then the stampede comes around and he takes the game from Peter again. At this point there's only one thing they can do. We gotta Home Alone this shit! They do Home Alone it by Peter rigging up a series of generic and very advanced traps that the huntsman falls for quite easily. They manage to get the game back, and Alan manages to escape police custody. But he's in serious trouble regardless. So they make their way back to the house where they still try to complete the game. Where at the house, well, let's just say everybody get your rain hat. What? I'm gonna need a new rain hat. Well, they managed to roll a monsoon indoors somehow, and to make a bad situation worse, there's crocodiles. Because why not? Well, they're saved at the last second by generic cop and the aunt, and so they continue playing the game in the attic, where honestly it's just a random series of events, happening one after another. They roll some spiders, they roll quicksand, they roll a freaking earthquake, and of course, here's the return of the motherfucking lion. Jeez, it's like a series of unfortunate events put on fast forward. Well, the evil hunter then again returns and forces Alan to drop the dice, which he just so happens to make the exact roll number needed to finally beat the game. All the horrors of Jumanji are sent back into the game, and they're sent back in time to when Alan and Sarah first started playing the game. It's the ultimate do-over! Quick, Sarah! Use all the secrets from the future in order to make you and Alan fabulously wealthy! It's genius! Well, Sarah and Alan do what they should have done from the start and threw Jumanji into the river, tied it to a rock. Alan and Sarah then live out the rest of their lives together. I assume they got married, even though it's never stated. But I assume from that pregnant Bailey. And they reunite with the exact kids, Peter and Judy, only in a different timeline. And they all lived happily ever after. Or do they? Yeah, they do. That's some other kids. We don't need to worry about them. And as far as this movie goes as a whole, it is astronomically good. Anyone who's a fan of Jurassic Park or survival scenarios like this definitely is going to enjoy this Jumanji. And I'm talking about this Jumanji. I'm not talking about the 2017 Jumanji, which by the date, it's going to come out sometime in a couple weeks. When I think of Jumanji, I'm always going to think of Robin Williams' adventures fighting a lion and a crocodile and several other horrible, horrible things. Not The Rock carrying Chris what's-his-face on his back through the jungle. So, before the new movie comes out, do yourself a favor and check out the original Jumanji in order to make the comparisons. So, without further ado, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman. I brought you organized chaos, and as you excuse me, ow! What the hell, Commando? Chutes and ladders came to life. We're just riding down the slide. Wait, we? Woo! Ow! You better save the roll for me! Whee!